What's happening? Welcome
What's
back.
good, y'all?
Podcast number 23. Rican and Socrates back in the history.
You at it again. Isn't that Jordan's number? 23?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, shit.
We were talking about some Naruto. We got some whole bunch of crazy shit to talk about, but we were talking about some Naruto real quick, and I wanted to show him a video, and I figured, hell,
Why not show
you guys
y'all?
ain't interested, you might want to peep this out. It's pretty dope. Here's my boy, Tobi Ramasenju. What's tight about this dude is he was the second Hokage. The first one was his older brother, Hashirama Senju. And Tobi Ramasenju invented all the jutsu that later become like the main things in the series. Like he invented the teleportation that Minato and Naruto do.
With the kunai?
Yes. He also invented the shadow clone jutsu and the multi-shadow clone jutsu.
Damn.
So he's the first one, and that's like the main thing that Naruto's dad, Naruto, and he does. And then the really huge one, he made up the reanimation jutsu. The Orochimaru.
That's the one that brings them to death, right?
That's the one that brings them back from death. Yeah, the Orochimaru worked on later, and Kabuto worked on, and later it won the Fourth Great Ninja War because a whole bunch of the shinobi that were brought back from the dead, reanimated, ended up earning their freedom, like Itachi.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, they earned back their freedom, so they weren't controlled by the reanimator, and they end up winning the Fourth Great Ninja War because of it. So I think that's pretty fucking dope. You know, like he did a whole bunch of things that even after he was dead, saved the world. Pretty dope, man.
Hell yeah, that's dope.
That's my boy right there, Tobi Rama. And I also think he has one of the coolest
cool in the game.
looks too. Yeah, yeah. I can't really remember what he does. It's like water style or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
His older brother, Hashirama Senju, and Madara are the ones that invented the.
Madara is his brother?
No. Well, but they were really close friends. Madara and Hashirama, this dude's older brother, Tobi Rama Senju's older brother, they invented the Leaf Village. They invented the Hokage, the democratically elected Hokage, and then all the other nations wanted to emulate that. So all the other nations then democratically elected their Hokages and shit too. So Madara and or what's his name?
Names are hard as fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're really hard to remember.
Yeah, it is. Madara and Hashirama Senju started the whole thing, so that's pretty dope. That's why it only goes back like 5 Hokages.
When you said Tobi, I thought when you first said Tobi, his whole name, I thought you were talking about old boy from the what are the bad people with the clouds? Katsuki. Yeah, I thought you were talking about him. He reminds me of Deadpool a little bit, just the way he talks. He's always just fooling around Tobi.
I see the person. When you said Deadpool, I was like, man, you say you don't know him, but if you know him that good, I see what you're saying. You're talking about Tobi, yeah. Because Tobi is like him, yeah. But Tobi Rama, it's like I don't really know his personality that well. All the clips that they showed were like Japanese. It wasn't dubbed like we normally watch. Okay. Because it's probably like 100 episodes ahead of even where I'm at, right?
Yeah, it is. That's so weird how they take forever for that.
I know, and it's like I don't just want to sit there and read like that because I love seeing the action, and I'm afraid that because I just know how it is, But I'm so
you're just sitting there reading it, and then you miss a fucking action scene. Mm-hmm. I just saw the one best action scene I've seen yet in the whole Naruto series. I even showed my dad when the puppet masters are going at each other. Fuck, it's so hard to remember their names, man.
Granny Cheeto.
Yes, and Sasori. Dope. Dope. You brought like 100 puppets out.
Yes. That's one of my favorite battles ever. And he brought back his dad's puppet or whatever, did the golden sand and made that fucking pyramid and did all this shit. Dude, that and all them poison needles and how he was like a
Everything
layer.
Was poison.
He was like an onion. Every layer you peel back, he's got another layer in there. Like at first he was this thing with that tail, perfect defense and shit.
Yep.
You peel that away, he's underneath there. You peel that away, it just never stopped. That dude was bad ass, man.
Oh yeah.
He was practically invulnerable the way he did it, and just had that.
I'm surprised he really died though.
I know, right?
I really wanted to see him fight later. I wish he would have got away.
Right.
And he would
Or
have got stronger.
I'd like to see him turn back to good. That's the best outcome. So nobody has to die. That's what I wish for
Like
a lot
Gara?
of people. Like, yeah, like even, you know, Islamic terrorists. I wish that they would like see humanity and realize, you know, that's what I wish for everyone in the real world. I think that's the best possible outcome, you know, is that people can evolve and get better over time. I think that's what we should all try to be. Can't be Hokage if you don't constantly try to improve.
I wish the Hokage was real, low key.
Man, me too. Like Hokage seems like an awesome position, but being the president, like nobody wants that bullshit. You know, like fuck that. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth the loot they pay. They don't get
especially the word Hokage is just cool because they take care of their own village. You know, they're not taking care of a fucking nation.
Yep.
Oh shit, bro. Sorry.
Oh, I was wondering. A little bit of lag.
So, what was the video you wanted to show? That Toby.
I've got. Oh yeah, I could show it here. Let me broadcast it.
Is it like his skills or something, or is it about?
Well, not necessarily. Well, I didn't necessarily want to show a video. I just wanted to show a picture of, so you could get a sense of
the picture. Okay.
I was just finding the first video, but the videos that I saw told me basically all the information that I told you right there.
What'd you learn about Naruto?
Huh?
What'd you learn about Naruto?
That is what I learned. How badass Toby Rama was. I didn't realize that he had made most of the jitsus that I really loved, which was, in my opinion, my favorite jitsu is the shadow clone because, you know,
that's
it's hard to beat.
Specialty.
Yeah, it's hard to beat numbers. Numbers is gonna make you win most battles just right off the top. And
Didn't you tell me that one of the great wars that Naruto just made millions of himself?
I don't know how many, but he made enough to where he was fighting on every battlefront at the same time. And then at one of the last battles, this is on the Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 game or whatever. He's running out on the last battlefield where they're fighting like Madara and Obito after they get like God powered, and even the original chick, the God chick, comes back to life. And Naruto runs through and he's like slapping hands with all the shinobi as he's running through this crowd, and he gives them all the Nine Tails cloak. So all the shinobi get, you know, the cloak that's like the red. He gives it to like a whole army to fight with. What? Yes, he can hand it.
How the fuck does he learn that?
He hands off his chakra enough to where it just like superpowers all the shinobi on a whole battlefield, and that's how they fight Madara and shit when he gets like God level. What? All the shinobi had to like join together and massive upgrade. It's so dope. But it was such a beautiful moment. It's on the game, on the story. You'll see
it's not on the shows.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful moment. Like that's just embodies how Naruto is, you know. He wins by bringing people together and by changing hearts for he recognizes humanity and convinces
That's
people.
What they say is his gift. That's his gift.
Yeah, it really is. And it's really eloquently told, in my opinion. Better than Superman or even Jesus, for that matter, in my opinion.
Hey, y'all, me and Socrates love this show. If y'all want to go check it out, kissanime.2. I also been watching 9 anime.2, and that actually changes to the next one. Yeah.
You fucking found one? Do they have commercials?
No.
What is it called?
9 anime.2.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, I found it because Kiss Anime was down for like a while. They're down for like a couple of days. Like I couldn't even search up the actual thing. It would say not intended to be not displayed, and I looked it up, and other people said other suggestions instead of that. And I looked up this one. Works for me. I got my dad watching it too.
Yeah, we were talking about it just yesterday. About how you tried to get him into it, and you know, I told him, I was like, man, you really, you know, at first the first few seasons are pretty slow, you know, and they're also like, it's almost like a kid's cartoon at that point because he's a child. But after a few seasons, that shit starts heating up, and it never goes back. You know, there might be some flashback episodes when he was a kid or whatever, but it doesn't go back in the sense
that's what I was thinking. I was gonna ask you as a watcher. As a new watcher, you know how Naruto was slow in the beginning. But when you go to Naruto Shippuden, like, you know how they have flashbacks and stuff? Can really anybody just start at Naruto Shippuden?
Just about.
You know what I'm saying?
You'll get it. Yeah. Yeah, you'll get it. There's really, because I mean, they tell the story over and over all the time, right? They constantly are reminding like why these people are the way they are. Yeah, I really think that you could probably just start anywhere. I mean, think about it. You could walk in at Game of Thrones season 3 and then get hooked. So you could do the same at Naruto. Except, so I just tell people start at like Shippuden or something where it starts out and it's already
good.
Pretty much a lot of crazy shit's happening.
I know, because even in the start, spoiler alert, they see Sasuke like the very start of Shippuden. Like I thought they're actually gonna go to war because Sasuke had that thing and he took him into he went to go see his actual nine-tailed fox and he actually went in there. I was like, what the fuck? You can do that? Dude, Sasuke's powerful.
Fuck yeah, he is. And he gets everything for free. Like Naruto has to bust his ass to learn every jutsu. And then Sasuke's just born with it. His eyes, his Sharingan eyes and all that are just like the key to every victory. And so I feel a little bit like it's like privilege, you know, it's like he was born with a better hand because now, you know, whatever jutsus he learned is just on top, but he already is massively powerful just from his natural gift. That's great, man.
You see, when I was watching Naruto, you actually see Naruto getting stronger than Sasuke. I was so happy.
Oh, me too.
Because he actually worked for it, and he was actually getting mad about it. And then all of a sudden, I come to this one, and it's like, oh fuck, Sasuke's strong as fuck.
Super strong.
And then Naruto's also strong, but the way he's strong with his nine tails. But when he gets really strong with his cloak, that actually hurts him. I found out. Like this dude, after the fourth tail or something like that, he starts actually bleeding. His skin comes off and everything. I was like, oh, that sucks. So I guess he learned how to control it, though, by what you told me.
Well, the Nine Tails heals him. Because if Naruto dies, the Nine Tails is going to be captured and put into somebody else. So eventually, spoiler alert, Nine Tails works out a deal basically with Naruto saying like, I'll protect you, I'll loan you my chakra, I'll work beside you, because he doesn't want to be abducted like Gaara was and have his beast taken from him. And then, because that's the whole thing, spoiler alert, that you find out about this show is that the nine-tailed beast, the reason that they're flipping out all the time is because people are trying to capture them. In the beginning, they were all peaceful. Really? They were huge. They were these huge things. And at the end, Naruto, they have names. They're not even called the Nine Tails and all this. Like,
oh, really? They have actual names?
Yeah, the Nine Tails' name is Kurama. Later, you find this out, and Naruto not only learns everyone's names, but he befriends them all, and they all work with him. So not only does he master the Nine Tails, he masters all the tailed beasts, all of them. Damn. And so they work with him as to not get captured and turned slaves for Madara's will.
Can you summon them?
Some people can.
Some people.
And it works weird too, like the Jinchurikis of the past, the people who contained the nine-tailed or the tailed beasts of the past in the shinobi world. Even when they're resurrected through the resurrection jutsu, if they had ever the Nine Tails or the Nine Tails chakra, they can still have it even after death. They bring back these two dudes like Jinchaku and Chimchaku or something like that is their names, silver and gold, whatever. They're like from the lightning village, you know.
Wait, is one of them with that big huge sword? Because he's in the game.
These two guys aren't in the game. No, those I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, because like when he does his Musao, he does like this little thing and he has tails in the back. So I don't know if that was part of the ninth or not.
I don't know. I'd have to see it. Maybe he'll have to beat me up with that character. And
yeah, right.
Oh, he's stomping me, man.
I'm cheap as fuck now, man. I'm cheap as fuck. I got Minato. What's his name?
What is it? Minato?
Minato. I got him all figured out now. Fuck. He's my dude. You're not gonna like me. I'm so cheap.
I gotta go like it. Yeah, you know how frustrating it is? It's like, all right, I don't understand why everything you throw it just goes in. It's like a frustrating thing when I can't block or dodge, and I don't understand how to remedy the situation. You know,
I'm such an asshole.
I try not to be a spoiled sport, but I can only take so much beating if I don't feel like I can dig myself out of the hole. Then I feel like it's just like, you know, some days you win them and some days you lose them, but you got to know when to fold them. You know what I mean? And
right.
If I'm taking too much of a beating, I'll fold it before I get too upset. I don't know what else to do.
Right.
Games are notorious.
Too upset. I remember I was playing with I don't know if he never really cares if I say his name. So I was playing with Christian, and I got him playing it. Dude, this dude uses this one girl. I have to find her name, but she's just like Wolverine. The way she does her combos, she doesn't even have a good Masao. She has good combos. Dude, she wraps you up and starts getting side by side, teleporting and hitting. Like, I can't get out of it. Damn. He is so good with this girl. I don't even know her. I need to find out her name and ask you about it.
One of the Naruto forums is like that. Has a really amazing combo where he like makes shadow clones and he's constantly like
he's kicking forward and stuff.
It's so hard to avoid that, and his range is so good. I don't know which Naruto form. That's the bad thing, is there's like 6, 7 Naruto. So I get a little bit confused as to which one does the which.
And even in those 3 or 4, they have 2 other ones of them. They have like the Great War and the whatever. For other people, they have reanimation or the regular form, or stuff like that. That's what I love about it. You could have all types, whatever they have. Shout out to them.
They did a great job. And the shout out to the animators, the writers. Best story ever, in my opinion. Like I
wonder how much it's worth.
What, Naruto, the industry?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a good question. I'm interested.
20 million.
Wow.
Has an estimated network of 20 million.
You know that the chick that wrote the Harry Potter books in London, she's made over $1 billion off of that, and she's richer than the Queen.
What?
Yeah, she's richer than
damn books.
She's richer than the Queen of her own country. That's kind of a funny, weird way to say it, because we have democratically elected, so it's nothing to be richer than the president. It's like we wouldn't think of that as a big deal because they don't actually get that much. But it's weird when you think about a king or queen, and that you'd have more money than them overwriting a book. But I think it's one of the best stories ever written.
I mean, wouldn't it be cool just to write a story and get millions of fucking dollars from it? Just a fucking story.
Yeah, it's got to be a good story. Don't be a
Dr. Seuss.
No, Elrond Hubbard. You ever hear of that guy?
Mm-mm.
He's the guy who started Scientology. This dude, he basically got dishonorably discharged out of the Navy. He attacked like an island or some shit that he wasn't supposed to. This dude is the most prolific fiction writer in all of history. He's wrote more fiction books than anyone ever. And later he made up a religion, Scientology, which like Tom Cruise and all these people are part of. And he just made it up. And it's a complete bullshit story, the Scientology. They believe that like this alien Xenu came to Earth and took all these souls and dumped them into a volcano. I'm completely serious. They believe the weirdest fucking shit. And this L. Ron Hubbard just made it up. And he wrote the most books of any science writer ever.
And Brad Pitt and shit's on it?
They're complete garbage, huh?
Brad Pitt and them is in that shit?
Not Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, I'm sorry.
And what's that dude's name? John
Leonard?
No, he was in Greece a long time ago. I can't remember that fucker's name. He's gay.
The main dude?
Huh?
The main one?
The main one.
I don't know his name either, but the main dude in Greece?
Yeah.
Him? Okay.
Yeah, John Travolta.
John Travolta. Okay.
John Travolta. He's a Scientologist. And, L. Ron Hubbard just made all that bullshit up. And all his books are just complete trash, man. I mean, he didn't spend any time. He just wrote down everything he ever thought of. Shit.
I had a dream about this. Someone write about it.
Anyone could believe that bullshit is just amazing to me. Do you remember we were talking about doing like martial art demonstrations, and I told you there was a video where like a dude cut off his sensei's toe while doing a demonstration with a sword?
Yes, I think I remember that, yeah.
I couldn't find that video with him cutting off that toe, but I found a pretty fucking dope ass video that I have to fucking show you though.
All right, what's up?
It's pretty fucking crazy, man.
I want to ask you. Let's see.
Here, I'll set it up here. And now we should be able to. It won't. I don't think it will. mute us when I play it now either. So.
Gotcha.
It's the International Karate Championships in Long Beach, California. The mystical-looking dude's the master.
Okay, I don't know what this is, but
And now he's going to work some black belt mojo on his trusting assistant. Not the massive crowd, it's sitting room only. No, the sledgehammer. And no,
Oh shit.
fuck that.
Oh shit.
Why's it got to be the assistant's arm? Why don't he put his own arm up there?
Well, they ain't done. Master gets a really sharp sword, and the trusting assistant puts a cucumber on his belly.
Oh no. Oh no.
Cool. Now they're gonna really go for it with the cut the cucumber on the throat trick.
Oh shit.
Oh, no.
He's bleeding.
He fucking cut his throat, dog.
What?
Yes.
And he's just walking away like whatever.
Yeah, they'll show it closer. Look.
The master starts his downward stroke. He hesitates.
Oh shit.
Fucking cut his goddamn throat, dog.
The master's really cool as he ignores the bleeding dude. Thanks for nothing, master. Zoom in on it.
Yo, after I got better, I would beat his ass.
Sword. You don't want to get his sword dirty. His trusting assistant's taking off the bleed somewhere else.
Damn, they running, bro. You probably bleed out.
Fucking shit. I don't know, man. I don't know if it caught his carotid, but it hit like right there too. If he even nicked that fucking carotid artery, man, that dude would be toast.
God,
You see,
damn.
like the thing I don't understand about that master and them swinging the sword around is that they do it on their students. You know, why don't the master put his own body on the line or do a different type of demonstration? You know what I mean? Like at least the guys that are like putting a spear on their throat and bending the fucking tinfoil spear are at least risking their own lives and not somebody else's.
I don't even see how that's entertaining, really.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, how is that a testament to his skill, his fighting prowess, right? That is not a testament to any fighting prowess. You know, if they think about it for a second, if anything, he's completely embarrassing himself, because if the whole exercise is the amount of control that he has over the blade or whatever, and then he cuts the fucker's throat, that's not control.
He probably did some shit. Watch. The student did some shit. He chose him on that for purpose.
Oh my god, dude. I mean,
heard some crazy shit. Like when I was doing when I went to my work thing. When I went to my work thing, I heard a story about these dudes got in an argument, and one of the dudes was an operator, and he was an operator of a crane, and they got so pissed off the other day. The next day, he had dirt and stuff, and he buried the man. Yes, he said it took 9 people to get him out. He was telling the story. He sued the crap out of him and all that, but he buried the man over an argument.
That's attempted murder, dog.
I'm surprised that dude's not in jail.
That's attempted murder, man.
Isn't that crazy?
He easily fucking died right there. I mean, think about how much dirt it takes to cover a human being.
You can't breathe. Fuck
no, you can't. Like if you're covered in dirt, you can't breathe, you can't inhale because your lungs won't be able to expand. And every time you breathe, the sand shifts. And so
comes closer.
It's less and less and less every fucking breath. Dude, that's attempted murder is what that is. I mean, it just goes to show it doesn't matter what they use to kill somebody or to attempt to kill somebody. That murder and attempted murder is all the same shit.
It's gonna fucking happen.
And I'm gonna show a few terrorist videos. Hopefully, if we get to.
Oh yeah, you told me about that, dog. More info.
Yeah, there's been 2 terrorist attacks that I know of in the last week. I found out recently the actual stats, and since 2001, when they hit up the towers and killed over 3,000 people, there have been 30,000 Islamic attacks around the world since 2001. 30,000, and we're not supposed to be worried about this.
I think there's like 5 this month.
Yeah, and I know about the last 2, and I don't know if right now is the perfect segue to get to them or not, but I do have a couple of videos that I kind of would like to talk about.
You said they're around the world, so they weren't in here?
One was in France and one was in Germany.
Damn, France again.
Europe. Poor France, man. Oh no, it wasn't France. It was in Turkey. I'm sorry. I'll show you that one first.
Damn.
Here, I'll show that one second because I think it's a little bit more sort of exciting. So here, give me 1 second.
No problem, brother.
So we got some more. Oh, and I want to say this. Here's my. It's not a disclaimer. It's more of a statement. I'm going to try my best from now on to not refer to Islamic terrorism as just terrorism, or I don't even want to use the word terrorism. See, I'm already falling into it. I want to try to correct my vernacular in this area, and that is, I want to call a spade a spade. What we have here is Islamic violence, right? And I'm going to call it Islamic violence. I'm not going to call it terrorism like we don't know where the fuck it's coming from. It's not just terror for no fucking reason. There is a reason. There's a certain type of people who are teaching each other to be like this and are getting off on it and encourage one another to do this sort of thing.
What makes you
call it what it is? And that is Islamic violence, Islamic murder. Fuck them. And
I thought someone said something, but you're just calling it what it is. You're just making the right vernacular.
Yeah, because I notice now, you'll see on these, like at first they didn't even know why this guy, if this guy was Islamic or anything. And I was like, well, I don't know. I'm going to wait till the facts come out. But yeah, I mean, this first one's bad. They didn't know the details on this one, so I can tell a few details about this that they're not going to address in the video. But I'll show a bit of the video first. So let's take a look.
Into a Christmas market in Berlin, Germany this evening. At least 9 people have been killed. There are many injured.
It's 12 killed, 50 injured.
Similar to the deadly
12 killed?
Yeah, 60 people are either dead or injured.
What the fuck?
60 people.
Well, Scott, witnesses described how the 18-wheeler jumped the curb, barreled into the crowd, and it just kept going. They said there's no doubt this was deliberate.
Hey, Socrates.
Yeah.
So he didn't have an AR?
No, it
He
was
didn't have a gun and killed all those people?
Nope, no gun.
Oh, wow.
It's another.
That's so crazy.
I know it's impossible. You'd think like if they don't have any guns, it's impossible to kill people, right? That's what we hear all the time.
We need stricter gun laws, man. We need stricter gun laws.
Obviously, and we should probably ban all drugs and water and air too.
I think that's the best way to go.
Yeah, because
Just
some people are irresponsible with air. You know. I mean, what the fuck, man? Some people are irresponsible with water. Huh. I mean, I'm tired of it, and everyone should pay because some people are idiots. Obviously, we're being facetious.
Right.
Thought to be the driver has been arrested. We caution these are early reports. The story is still developing. Videos posted on social media captured the first images of the aftermath. You see parts of the crowded Christmas market in West Berlin. It's popular with locals and tourists alike, just flattened. Market stalls were crushed. U.S. intelligence officials tell CBS News what happened bears similarities to that attack you said in Nice, France in July, where 86 people were killed, and it's what terror groups have been calling for.
You mean Islamic murderers? You mean Islamic murderers? That's what they mean. I
just don't understand, why don't they say it how it is?
Because there's a narrative, and that's that Islam has nothing to do with terrorism. That's
everyone can see that it is.
But in real life, all we see is terrorists, and they're all Islamic. So what this guy did was, I don't know how he lured this guy over, but a guy was driving an 18-wheeler, and in the back he had a bunch of steel pipes, I heard, or something like that, right? A bunch of flat stock or round stock, steel, heavy steel, and a big old 18-wheeler semi. And I don't know exactly how he got this guy, but he shot that guy and killed him, the driver. He took the 18-wheeler and he drove it into a Christmas market where they're just have shops and booths and stuff set up like a festival. And he drove right through this fucking festival, took down all the fucking shops, killed and murdered and destroyed 60-some families' lives. I just get so fucking sick of it. I mean, it's so senseless and pointless. I mean, what were those people doing to? Well, you know what did they do? And this is what I'm talking about Islam. They pick fights with everyone. It isn't just America. They pick fights with and hate the whole world. They're not going to be happy until the whole world is under Sharia law, and they say it openly. And I have some video here where they fucking say it openly, and I'll show them. But so he abducted it, he killed the truck driver, and at first they didn't know what was happening because they thought that the other truck driver was part of it, but turns out, oh, and the truck driver was shot and killed. So in Germany, where they're not allowed to have guns, see, that's right where they know they can do shit like that. You know what I mean? So that guy doesn't even have a way to protect himself. The truck driver just got blatantly murdered.
Wait, you're telling me that Germany doesn't allow guns, but he got a gun? How did that happen?
Yeah, well, they've already caught the there was like thousands of refugees, and they were getting these packages, these big old crates, and they opened up a few of them, and it was full of fucking weapons, dude.
What?
Yes, they've already been caught. Yeah, some of the supposed refugees getting crates full of weapons, and I got videos here where they're talking about taking over London and shit, dog.
What?
Yes, man. I'll show you. I mean, it's a little bit dated, but it's fucked. But I want to show you this other Islamic murderer, and it's just fucking upsetting, man.
It doesn't even sound real when we keep talking about. Oh, I seen this.
You did?
Yeah, the dude just shot him right behind him, I believe.
Yeah. They shot a Russian ambassador. An ambassador. An ambassador is not a soldier. You see, they don't care when it's our regular civilians. He shouted, Allahu Akbar, and fired 8 shots. He was a police officer, they think, that was hired to be security for the ambassador. And yesterday, he was a peaceful Muslim, and today he's a fucking murderer. But not all Muslims, right? They don't all teach that. But look at that, man. And, shot that dude dead, point blank range. Is this
I didn't know the info about it, but I saw the video, and the dude was just shot the dude. And I remember seeing the video. He was just yelling like shit in Arabic or whatever. I didn't know what he was saying. I tried to put captions, but it didn't fucking work, of course.
Yeah. It's just so fucking frustrating. I don't understand.
I wonder if they even. Never mind.
I understand that their goal is global jihad, global Sharia law. But what I don't understand is why we put up with this. We could squash these motherfuckers. Out of the goodness of our hearts, we let them do this to us, thinking that they will change.
Just playing devil's advocate real quick. I'm trying to think of why we don't just squash them, because it's just like a bully that we know we can handle, right?
Because it's politically incorrect.
Or I was thinking maybe in a way, maybe it's population control, I've heard a lot of accusations about that, about how like the world, like Illuminati or whatever, is trying to do population control and stuff like that. And there's certain areas that just gets crazy, and then they try to decrease the population. And these motherfuckers are doing it, They're doing it every fucking day, probably.
Not to mention the Bilderberger group. They have there's a monument. I think it's called the Bilderberger Monument, and they made this fucking monument, and it talks about reducing the world's population below something like 800 million or something.
Damn, 800 million?
Yeah, I forget the number, but I'm gonna try to find it real quick here.
But even aren't we like in billions right now?
Yeah, we're at like
all right, I'm about to look
billion, somewhere around there.
People are in the world. 7 billion people.
Yeah.
And they want to take it down. Damn.
So, yeah, it's called the Georgia Guidestone. Here, I'll show you.
The Georgia guy.
Give me a second. Let me throw this up here. So nobody knows who built this fucking Georgia Guidestone, and this is the thing that says like reduce the world's population beneath whatever it is, 800 million or whatever it.
Guidestones, the Illuminati monument to this mysterious structure, which was erected on 3/22 back in 1980. Get it, the Skull and Bones holiday. After it was designed and paid for anonymously by a man who wouldn't reveal his true identity, but did admit that he represented a secret society who wanted to build a monument to reason. Got a very mysterious 2014 upgrade recently. I'll show it to you in just a second. If you're not familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, here's a couple of diagrams of it. Basically, it's the Illuminati's 10 Commandments. It's literally 10 Commandments carved in stone into granite slabs, and these 20-foot tall slabs in 8 different languages that basically call for a massive world human population reduction, of global government, a global court, and call human beings a cancer on the earth. That was designed and built and set up, like I said, on 3/22 back in 1980. A man calling himself R.C. Christian, an admitted pseudonym who represented a secret society, who then later published a book called Common Sense Renewed, a book that I've been able to get my hands on 10 years ago. I got a copy of it.
So this is open to the public, bro?
Yeah, man. This is a monument just sitting out in the fucking open. Anyone could go see this shit.
What the
It's in Georgia.
I'm surprised they just leave it up.
Right? I mean, I guess if the person paid for it anonymously and did all that, but it's weird, like that he would do it anonymously and like, it's just weird. And then the shit that it talks about on the stones, written in 8 languages, it's, and then when there's secret societies, and then explain that like everyone's talking about secret societies and that shit, nobody talked about secret societies back then, it seems like. And this shit was in the 80s. 1980, they said that thing was made. So, I mean, this wasn't made after people get into the Illuminati and start realizing that there's this like big global, you know what I mean? This was long before that. I mean, people obviously knew what was up, man. There's a long history going back like a long, long time.
I never knew whether to believe in Illuminati or not because there's just so many conspiracies. So many. It's hard, especially when it's always anonymous like that.
Yeah, and especially trying to be a rationally minded skeptic person. I always want to wait for the facts to come in, but sometimes there's not enough facts and you just have to kind of go with your gut. So I might believe a few things that other people might think are a little bit odd. Like I believe that there are aliens out there. I don't necessarily think that they're on Earth, but I mean, I just think the universe is way too big to not contain other life. It's just when you have infinite amount of possibilities, you're going to have an infinite amount of variety. I mean, that just happens. So there will be infinite amount of planets out there there's probably planets out there that are like real Jedi universes and real, Naruto worlds and anything we can actually dream up. There's probably a
world for that.
Yeah, man, with different kind of physics and gravity and where those motherfuckers fly or they, you know what I mean? Like shit's normal for them.
Most likely in Illuminati, that Illuminati group or whatever, they're probably like really rich, right? Like super ungodly rich.
Ungodly rich. Like wealth beyond anything we could probably ever imagine. Because I always say when, like when the Guinness Book of World Records talks about, the oldest person or the richest person, they're talking about the richest person who wants to reveal his money, and they're talking about the oldest person who has a birth certificate, right, or has proof. But that doesn't mean they're the actual oldest person, right? That's debatable. And it's the same thing with the actual richest person. There are people who are so rich they don't tell Guinness how much money they have, and they don't want anyone to notice them. They are happy behind the scenes, and they can fund every government, and they can make or break countries at will. And there are even presidents who have talked about this.
Really?
I even hear a lot about like JFK, how one of the things he wanted to reveal, he had a note in his back pocket, JFK, when he died, of a speech talking about how he wants to tell the world about aliens.
What?
Yes. In his back pocket, I heard. His next speech that he was going to do was going to be coming out about aliens and I think it had something to do with these groups that work behind the scenes, you know. And I mean, that's like a famous case, JFK, and you can see like they covered all that shit up, dog.
What?
Yeah, man. And so like shit, you know, the truth is stranger than most people could realize, really. That's what I think. And I think that if anyone has proof otherwise, show me. I'm totally willing to listen, you know. But you know, that's the stuff that I saw, and I just thought, how odd is that, you know?
Right.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Yeah,
of course, no one knows that if it's true, you know.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But who knows, man? I mean, you know, I just want the truth in every subject, in every facet of life. I want.
It's really hard to get that, like especially like now. There's been so many lies told. Yeah. Now that we've been searching, we got this amazing thing called the internet.
Oh my God!
We've been searching the truth for ourselves. It's really hard, man, to really accept that truth in a way. Especially for me, you know. I don't know about you, but like for me, talking for myself, it's hard.
Yeah, and like we are not told the truth in so many areas, you know. And I believe that, you know, the alien phenomenon is probably one of them. The hidden societies of super rich motherfuckers controlling everything behind the scenes is another one. Or how about history and how we're taught that 10,001 years ago we were apes, and 10,000 years ago humans just suddenly fucking appeared out of nowhere. Something big happened where there was like a big shift, and they basically say humans just go back like 10,000 years when we have proven things that go back way farther than that. And
here's how I see it. I see if like, because in school you learned that all the states, I mean all the countries were together at one. I forgot what it's called, but they were all joined together in the beginning. They're all together. Pangea. I think if it's so crazy to split them up, and now we're where we are now, I think a lot of things can happen when it comes to humans, animals. I mean, we were all in one spot, you know, yeah. And then now we just branched off. Now we have fucking Antarctica and stuff like down there, and we're in the equator, and some people aren't. They're above. You know, I think that changes everything. So I don't fucking doubt there's something big happening. I don't know where I'm going with that, but
yeah, man. You know, and you know, I just hate that we're told one thing, and then it's like if you ask questions, they have no answers for a question in mainstream certain areas. You know, everyone has areas where they're probably wrong about things, and I am too. But we're all right to the facts that we have in our head, right? So it's like, you know, I don't remember who it was that said, like, you know, the difference between one person's opinion and another, and they might differ, is that one person might have one more fact than the other person. One more. And so he just has that little bit more insight and has arrived at a different opinion, right? So that's the way I sort of look at it. It's like, this is my opinion now, but every day I'm a new person. And as the facts come in, my opinion changes. But when you hear shit like that, it just really makes you fucking wonder, you know? Like, I don't know, man.
It really, yeah, you see, you can't say nothing about it. Like, it's really frustrating. But on a better note, I'm sorry I went to this little path over here. You're gonna show me some martial arts before I shifted the conversation.
I was. Let me take a look here. Let me take a look. What was I gonna show? Hold on. No, the thing I was good, the social justice warrior thing, the video I had up at first. Yeah, that's not a martial art movie. It's this dude. He's a Christian comedian. He's pretty funny. His name is Steven Crowder. He's from Canada. This feminist author, and I believe she's a college professor, and she does videos on Prager University, and she does videos called The Factual Feminist. She's my favorite feminist in the world that I can think of. She's an actual egalitarian feminist. You know, I don't know why she even uses the name feminist. If you ask me, you know, it's like using the name, you know, Black Panthers or something. If you're not a black supremacist, you probably shouldn't use that name. Like, I shouldn't choose like skinheads as my name if I'm not a skinhead, right? Like,
right.
So I don't understand why she chooses that white or that supremacist group name, but she does. But she's awesome, and I believe Milo Yiannopoulos is up in here too. And I just want to play a couple minutes of this because this is where the famous feminist Trigglypuff, I think it's at UMass College, and this Trigglypuff chick who you'll see in a minute here became a meme. She's on tons of memes and shit, and he rips her so bad. It's fucking funny. Check it out.
All right.
Oh, gotta put it up here so you can see the damn thing. 1 second. All right. Social justice warriors start protesting free speech. It's Steven Crowder. He's a comedian. He's also judo. He's also like a black belt in judo. He's badass.
Putting this on. Come on, let him know you love him. Let's hear it from Milo. Let him know you love him. Let's hear it from Miss Summers. Let her know you love her. Time to listen up, you silly liberal fruitcakes.
Oh, shit.
Tonight I wanted to tell some jokes. Let's do some reality checks here. Do you have any idea, sir, how pathetic it must be to be you? These people wanted to come out and have a good time, hear a few jokes, some thoughtful discussion, but your head pops off the pillow in the morning with, oh, how can I be a professional victim today? Let me go in and screw with their act just because, oh my God, your parents didn't tell you that your opinion wasn't worth that much.
Damn.
Look, they're confused. They're confused. You know why? Because I'm not your gender studies professor who has to cater to your trigger warning, microaggression, safe space bullshit.
Woo!
I didn't want to do this. I want to go out and tell a few jokes. You created this monster. We have to go 10 more minutes of this. Let this reverberate. Let it be a life lesson. This monster right here that you're so afraid of, the face you see in your nightmares, was created by social justice warrior assholes like you.
Boom!
And now you have this wonderful faggot. That's what happens. You okay? We good? Yeah.
Darling, you can call me what you like.
Oh, okay, there we go.
That's Milo Yiannopoulos. He's fucking cool, man.
Crying out loud, listen. Nobody here wants to hear your opinion that much. Here's what's so crazy. You couldn't wait 5 minutes. Unlike leftists, we have an open panel and a Q&A session because we want an open idea. Oh, I'm a racist. There you go. That's a new one. Where'd you learn that one in Social Human Studies 101? Right next to the giant, I don't know, wild boar. I couldn't see who said there's no such thing as fat chicks. Guess what? If you think there aren't, you are one, okay? Did you just make a fat joke? Yeah, I did. No, it's okay, because I got some here, so screw you. I have a faggot pass and a fat pass today. We wanted to come out here and tell a few jokes. We wanted to have a
lot of energy.
Yeah.
Conversation of ideas. You guys can't be grown adults enough to literally wait 10 minutes to the point where we open the floor. And unlike leftists, guess what? We don't try and ban you when your speakers come to school. We don't show up and protest and call, oh, shut up, you just got owned and now you're trying to come back 5 minutes later. It's like George.
He's going off. I fucking love it.
The drugstore. Oh, they're running out of you, George Costanza, you androgynous little amoeba. And by the way, the opinions you're yelling out, they're not even your opinions. They're your opinions from your gender studies professor and the really reason you picked it was because you thought it was your best chance at getting laid. You just decided to walk on in to try and pick up chicks at the San Francisco retread pot-smoking drum circle, only to realize that your very glance in the direction of a woman causes a barren womb. How, you think it's going to get better? No. Is he going to check his privilege? That's not going to happen. I don't want to come out here and give someone the finger, but it's because they walk out. This chick is a sort of show like that. This is absurd. At least when you go back to
He's talking about Jigglypuff. I thought they were gonna show her.
The crowd's loving him too.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a comedian too. He has a show. He does a podcast.
What's his name again?
Steven Crowder. He's pretty funny, man. It was this rant right here is how I found out who he was, and I started liking him after that.
Yeah, funny jokes.
He's pretty funny, man. And his podcast is all right. It's okay. He's Canadian and shit, but he's cool. There's a lot of Canadians. There's a lot of comedians that are from Canada. They're funny motherfuckers.
It's crazy. It's dangerous to be a comedian up there.
Yeah, man. That's where that one comedian went to a college and got sued, and the chick won because she was offended by something.
That's so stupid. You heard what happened, right? Like they started it and shit.
Yeah. A joke isn't funny if it doesn't push the boundaries of what we consider taboo. That's the whole point of a joke. You know, that I love that. My favorite conversations are the ones that nobody else wants to have. That's how I roll. You know, that's why I chose the moniker Socrates. I love to talk about uncomfortable things, sort of, you know, because those are the real things. Those are when your heart's pumping. You want to talk about the weather? That's fine, but don't involve me. You don't need me to talk about the weather. The weather is what it is. But let's talk about some real fucking shit, man. That's me. I thought that was pretty real, huh?
It's really gloomy outside.
I bet, man. I'm getting mad snow lately.
Hey, dog, I wanted to show you a video, and I think it's just great that we show this because not only is it say what you talk about, but it's obviously it's out there, you know, it's just you not talking out of your ass.
Cool.
It's the cop video. It's the second one instead of that other one. He talks about black on black crime. I just wanted him to talk so it doesn't seem like you just talking out of your ass. There's an actual cop, you know, that says exactly what, in other words, what you said, you know. Because
all right.
Hear it.
Let me hear what he says. Oh, I think I might have seen this. Yep, I've seen it.
I heard a lot of things. Certainly, there are some folks in this community that are legitimately grieving, and we work for them. There are a lot of folks who believe the First Amendment only applies to them, and took great pains to shout down anybody that disagreed with them. Despite my ongoing disagreements with the police union, I have to say that their members tonight conducted themselves, I thought, with great restraint, given the ad hominem invective that was being unleashed on their work personally and the police department generally. So, you know, this is a controversy. This is a tragedy. I've said it over and over again. It's a tragedy for the family, tragedy for Officer Manning, it's a tragedy for the community. And I'm not blind to the fact that there's a lot of people lining up to take advantage of this tragedy, of flying their own agendas, and that was clear tonight as well.
You're accused of saying something to one of the protesters or one of the people in the stands. He accused you.
You know, he was making so much noise. I have no idea what he's talking about. But, he feels insulted. Too bad.
What's your response to some people that thought you were being disrespectful by being on your phone and not being attentive to them?
Well, I was on my phone, and yes, that's true. I was following developments of a 5-year-old little girl sitting on her dad's lap and just got shot in the head by a drive-by shooting. There's some of the people here gave a good goddamn about the victimization of people in this community by crime. I take some of their invective more seriously. The greatest racial disparity in the city of Milwaukee is getting shot and killed. Hello. 80% of my homicide victims every year are African American. 80% of our aggravated assault victims are African American. 80% of our shooting, they're shooting, are African American. Now, they know all about the last 3 people that have been killed by the Milwaukee Police Department over the course of the last several years. There's not one of them can name one of the last 3 homicide victims we've had in this city.
Truth.
Now, there's room for everybody to participate in fixing this police department, and I'm not pretending we're without sin. But this community is at risk already, and it's not because men and women in blue risk their lives protecting it. It's at risk because we have large numbers of high-capacity, quality firearms in the hands of remorseless criminals who don't care who they shoot.
Woo.
Now I'm leaving here to.
Man.
I just want to say something real quick. I just want to say that I'm showing this video not to just. I'm not trying to hate on nobody or nothing like that. But when it comes to Black Lives Matter, this is just a retaliation video. You know, this is just actual info. Because I don't like when people just say Black Lives Matter, and if you don't agree with that, then you racist. But look, this is actual facts. You know what I'm saying? This is actually coming from the person that actually does it, you know? True. And I just wanted to get it out there. I love all types of people. But when you tell me Black Lives Matter, and if I need to be by that, fuck you. Listen to this shit. This is real shit right here.
Right.
I just wanted to get that comment out there.
Truth. And if Black Lives Matter, the point I think that he's trying to make, if Black Lives Matter, why don't they care about the children that are being shot by these other black people?
Right.
Well, there's way more people being killed by black people than there are cops killing black people.
Right.
Way more.
Even like high celebrity or figures for the black community even say that. How can we say Black Lives Matter when we killing our own people? Quote. Right. Quote. You know?
And beefing all the time, man. I mean, how many like I watched this this channel called DJ Academics, and it talks about
I watched it too.
And you know, there's constant beef between all these rappers and shit. It's like just because they, you know, they'll make videos against each other and all this. It's just this culture of like shitting on each other and one-upping each other and not supporting each other, man. The only time they can support one another is when they're in a gang doing something wrong. I know that for a fucking fact.
When I was at my job, one of my supervisors and one of the workers I was working with was talking. They was both black, but they was talking to each other, saying maybe what would help the black community or whatever, and what would solve it. And they was just talking about how the problem is, in their opinion, was that there's no black community supporting their own community. You know, when you got, like, for example, like Jewish people, they have high corporations and stuff. They have good businesses in their community. Mexican communities, they have Mexican stores. They support their community, you know. And we already know how white people go. You know,
they're famous for them food carts too, yo.
You
know, it was like truck. Oh my God, so good. And it travels, dude. What a great way to have it. Like the restaurant comes to you, yo. You want delicious food that comes to the beach where everyone is. Like, you don't need to go nowhere. I think that's just a great idea.
Hell yeah. Or those ice cream, the one on wheels. I don't know if you ever had some Mexican ice cream. That shit is fucking fire.
Really?
Yeah. I'll take you. I'll bring you some. They don't open until the summer.
Yeah.
But dog, it's fire. Like coconut. They actually have the actual coconut pieces in there. Mango. Yeah, it's fire.
I love mango, man.
Me too, man. Real good shit.
Yeah, I love, you know, cultural. I love every culture pretty much. You know, I just hate bad ideas, like I always say. But I especially love, like, you know, because we all have to eat, you know, 2-3 times a day or whatever. So it's like, you know, people focus on, you know, a foreign person and what they eat. They're always like, what kind of food do you guys eat, right? And some people get offended by that, but really, they shouldn't take it in a negative way because
it's really a good question.
Because yeah, everyone has to eat every day. He's curious about your culture, and also that it seems natural to think of that when our lives have to revolve around that. So it's practical. It's just practical knowledge. Like if I went to live there, what would I, you know, what would I have to get used to, right?
Right.
What would the culture be? And I love, and yeah, sometimes there's some scary shit. You know, I grew up with like every culture on earth, but I grew up with a bunch of Southeast Asian people, you know.
That's what scares me the most.
Laos and Thailand, and there's some scary foods, you know, but there are also some of the most amazingly delicious foods I've ever had in my life from there. I mean, I wish I could replicate somewhere else. And even when I go to like a place that serves pho, like pho restaurants are everywhere now. You see these restaurants they call PHO pho. That's how they say it in Laos or whatever. And but even they can't make it as good as like, you know, my boy's mom or whatever growing up, and you know, just remember that, you know. So
it's really cool when they're actually from there too. They come here. Like, you know, you go to Hacienda, you get some of that whatever rice or something. They ain't good as an actual woman, Hispanic woman that was born from there. Yeah,
because it's like made with love and tradition, you know. But guess what? They wanted to come to my house and experience our regular shit. Because our regular shit to them was like, oh my God, you know, we don't have fucking, you know, whatever it might be, you know, like even pizza is like rare to them sometimes, you know.
Oh, really? Pizza?
Yeah, well, not particularly, but I'm saying,
that's an
like,
example.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, 9 times out of 10, they're not eating pizza. Like American families will make that shit 5 days a week or whatever. You know how they do. It's convenient, right? And but to them, you know, 5 days a week they're having like rice and meat or different dishes that they make, right? So
Those Tostinos, boy.
yeah, right. Or like biscuits and gravy, shit like that. They love that shit. They never had, because they want to experience our home cooked shit, and we do that too. Like near our area, there's this Amish restaurant, the Essen House or whatever. I don't know if you've ever been there. It used to be way better. I think it used to be way better than it is now. But I went there earlier this year, and it's Amish food, and it's like they're straight up Amish, and
I heard they have a lot of good shit. I went to this Amish buffet.
Fire.
Oh god. Oh god. I wanted to go there every day.
It's off the chain. It was Amish?
Yeah. I mean, well, all right, put it this way. There's tons of Amish. We're the only Amish people that weren't there. I mean, we were the only not Amish people there. So I'm assuming it was Amish. I mean, when you look, when the doors open for them to bring more food, it was Amish people bringing food. So I'm pretty sure it was Amish. They had like a little store, a little gift shop.
Maybe some Mexicans back there cooking the food. Like, man, that's some weird looking Amish people.
Man, but you never know. Like, for example,
yeah, for
the Chinese stores always have Mexicans in them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Exactly.
Fucking sense.
I'm pretty sure that was Spanish and not Chinese. But you know what? I really don't give a fuck if I like the food. I don't really give a shit.
For real.
Yeah, because like I can really care less, right? Like, but
it's so confusing. It's like I love how they keep all the Chinese people in front and then the Mexicans in the back. You know, like what?
Yeah, you'd almost think they would do it the opposite, especially since half the time the Chinese people at those restaurants can barely speak English, right?
For real.
Yeah, they're like struggling. Like, you know, you want rice, sausage, pork roll? You're like, you're never quite sure if they got it, right? You're like, you know, if you like that sort of like racial humor, have you ever heard of this dude called something Peterson? I can't think of his name right now. Just one of the funniest fucking comedians, and he talks about nothing but every culture on earth and just destroys everyone. Yeah, man.
I've seen a couple of videos. Like, for example, I've seen one with a nail shop. This one girl comedian, she's making fun of like these Japanese, or not Japanese, these Chinese nail shops and stuff, and how they always try to make you pay more for the littlest shit. They say $5 more. It's okay. It's okay. You pretty, or something like that. Yeah, I love all that shit. Or like South Park, shitty sushi, come in. You know, it's just that funny shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got the name completely wrong, and I'm really sorry about that, Russell Peters. If you ever watch this shit, his name is Russell Peters. Man, he rips on like every culture, and it is so fucking funny. I don't want to show his comedy, but anyone can look that up. Russell Peters.
I'm gonna write that down.
I don't know if dude, you'd love it because he talks about Chinese people and Mexican people.
I'm open to anything. I don't really get butthurt like that.
Middle Easterns. Yeah, I mean, you can't get butthurt, man, because every culture has their shit, right? Like nobody's exempt. If we were all held guilty for what our ancestors did, nobody is guiltless, man. We're all guilty as fuck. But we are not guilty because we didn't do shit, and we're not responsible for the sins of any people in the past. And even for that matter, our governments, you know, people are guilty on individual levels. I think, you know, it's like we're not responsible for what Barack Obama does or what Trump does.
Right.
You know, and Islam, or it is not this singular entity that's responsible for every Islamic murderer that's made. You know, it's the individuals. They're fucking crazy. But at the same time, the ideas plant, you know, terrible things into their head. I wanted to show some of this footage of these refugees in these countries and to show how they act. And they just come there and destroy the whole fucking town. It's in France, I believe. Check it. Here, let me put it up here right quick.
Hey, bro. For some reason, I'm looking at the live feed right now. And it's not showing you. It's showing me the past like 5 minutes, or actually
Yeah,
20 minutes.
because I had it on you, but right now it should be showing my screen, right? The video.
Nope, it's on me.
For real?
Yep. I'm gonna come back. Hey, can you? I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back. See if that helps.
No, I got it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly. I had your window clicked down here.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure now. Can you see it?
Yep. That was good.
Well, I hope that that didn't fuck up the last couple of videos, but it might have.
I hope you guys like my face.
I'll get it eventually. Well, it's a good thing that those previous videos weren't very visual.
Yeah, they're just vocal.
Yeah. So, but it should be. This should hopefully you can see this here. Check it out.
Yeah, I checked it.
Jesus.
Oh, damn.
This is France.
Wait, is this recent?
I think so. Yeah, this is October 31st. This is posted.
Damn, they're at war? I didn't know that.
They just destroy every country they come in contact with. You would think if a country let you in and gave you they give these guys free apartments. They clear out citizens that live there, apartments, and they give them to these migrants. They pay for everything, give them everything. And this is how they act in the countries that take them in.
Why do they keep silent? I don't understand.
And they call people racist that don't want them. Do you want to live like how it is in Afghanistan every fucking day here?
Fuck that.
Under Sharia law, we'd live in a fallout world. If we let Islam take over, we would live in a world that has no stores. We'd be primitive as fuck, cut off each other's heads every fucking day. There's not going to be any good agriculture. There won't be any roads. There won't be cars. There won't be cell phones. There won't be computers. Because these people are barbarians. They are against learning. They are against science. They are against technology and anything that the West has come up with, which is all of civilization.
Wow. Look at that. Just regular streets, just fucked up.
All they do is destroy.
Wow, I didn't know they were at war, man.
Imagine acting like that in somebody else's house, man.
Imagine that happened right across the
country. Could you imagine going over to France and rioting and doing that shit? I can't. But these people can, and they do. For some reason, they don't have the same morals we do by far, you know? They're not.
I just don't understand, as a human being that has a heart, how can this be fucking okay?
I know.
Hope nothing happens to this girl.
I know. I said, I saw this video a little bit earlier, and I was like, I swear to God, if anything happens to this fucking lady, I'm buying a fucking ticket over there. You know? And I'll just fucking stand on the corner every goddamn day. But it's so frustrating, man. I hate to see I just.
What? They try to declare their own territory?
Yeah. Yeah, and I got videos about that too, where they call it like no-go zones and Muslim-controlled zones. Look at this. He shot a policeman in the stomach. And in France, I don't think the people can have guns. So, but they still have guns. You see that? The migrants got guns, though.
Yeah, France does not have the right to bear arms. And the right to privately own a gun is not protected by law.
Yeah, so they can't protect themselves against these hordes of fucking barbarians.
That's fucking crazy, yo.
And look at them. They're dressed nice. You know, like they all came out of Abercrombie and Fitch store.
Islam as a religion is a lie wrapped with some facts and truth.
What the fuck?
And that's how they fucking act. Let me show you
the barricades one.
this right here. This is October 14th. This was posted here.
Jihad, right there. Jihad
Nuke,
against.
nuke, Denmark.
What you can't see in this video is that one of the demonstrators is dressed as a suicide bomber.
Put your troops out on their arms. And if you do not put your troops out, you will get bloodshed on the streets of London.
Again, no one was arrested. A recent survey shows that 40% of British Muslims want Islamic Sharia law in the United Kingdom. Sharia imposes
40%.
amputations and stonings.
And take their wives as war booty. Because that's how it works in their fucking primitive ass culture. They're sick. They're sick. He's openly saying we're gonna murder you guys and rape your wives. And their children too.
I'm glad that they have to
Feminists support these guys.
Against radical Islam by voting to ban the burqa and veils. But that exposes unveiled women to being raped by Muslim men.
I feel so bad for women that have to live in this situation.
Me too.
Unveiled women in Europe. In France, the government continues to pretend that Muslim anti-Semitic violence is not a problem. But it couldn't keep tens of thousands of Frenchmen from marching last month after the...
Look at their protests versus the Islamic ones. Notice the contrast?
Yep.
The religion of peace is the only one doing good. The religion of peace is the only one murdering.
Brutal murder of a young Jew named Ilan Halimi by French Muslims.
They hate Jews.
Halimi was held for ransom and then tortured to death by Muslim immigrants who
What?
and recited to them verses from the Quran as their son screamed in agony.
We can see that what he says is in the heart of every government in Europe. We can see that everything that he says is in the heart of every disbeliever.
The burqa? Is he protesting against it?
No, for it.
For it?
For
Hit him in
Sharia.
the face with a camera. Shove that camera up his fucking nose.
What?
I wanted the camera person that's right in front of him to shove it up his nose.
Islam will be implemented so you can go and call on the alien war.
Fucking animals.
And we will see the believers victorious. We will see Israel destroyed. We will see the European
We will see Israel destroyed.
crusaders destroyed. And we will see Islam dominate.
Nothing to worry about, right? Nothing to worry about. They don't openly declare they're going to just destroy everyone else. Right? So we got nothing to worry about. I looked it up yesterday or a couple days ago. There are only 1.3 billion white people in the world.
What did you say, 1.3?
1.3 billion white people in the world. There are supposed to be something like 1.5 or 1.7 billion Muslims in the world.
Damn.
So for them to pretend like there's some minority and we're some majority oppressing them and shit, it's fucking ridiculous. They outnumber us just in their religion.
A couple of, I think yesterday or the day before, I stumbled upon a video on Twitter. I have it on my playlist. I just remembered it because of this. But this dude, if you want to see it, this dude was getting kicked out of Delta Airplanes. And because he was Arab, you probably have to refresh it.
Which one is it?
If you have to refresh the page, I just added it.
Okay.
He got kicked out of Delta Airplanes, I guess, because he it's the last one right there. Yeah, because I guess he spoke a word. If you want to see that real quick, and then I just want to let this know because this was shared in that one specific tweet. It could have been shared another time and got more views, but just alone it had like 125,000 retweets and then even more likes supporting this dude. And I just want you to see it first, and then I want to show you what I found out about this dude.
Wow, interesting. So yeah, let me check it out here. Holy shit.
Guys, we spoke a different language on the plane, and now we're getting kicked out. Now we're getting kicked out. We're getting kicked out because we spoke a different language.
I've seen this guy before.
This is 2016. 2016. Look, Delta Airlines are kicking us out because we spoke a different language.
He's playing a victim, man.
Because we spoke a different language.
I'm guessing we're only hearing one side of the story right here.
Yup.
Bet money. I've seen this guy before.
You've seen him before.
Yeah, on a different video. I think he likes to go around and cause trouble and then act like a victim. They all love to do that. I have a video that I'm going to show about how they propagandize. They show like dead children. They're putting makeup on them. They're not even.
Because what was funny was, as soon as I seen this video, I supported the dude. I retweeted it. And then as soon as I look down and see the comments, I see this one dude. He comments his actual channel, and it says, screaming bomb in an airplane. Prank. Doing these other pranks in airplanes that are not funny at all. And
now he's acting like he's a victim.
Yeah.
He's acting like it's a joke. It's not a joke. And then when people don't like his supposed joke, but it's not a joke. It's all set up so he can look like people who just hate Muslims and they're just such victims, but they're the only ones that are ever doing any dirt.
Six white people against us bearded men. How did you kick them out? I feel uncomfortable.
Oh.
No, you're gonna kick us out once we go outside. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna kick us out. Delta Airlines, and I with you guys too. I spoke a different language. They're kicking us out.
He spoke a different language.
Thank you so much.
Yelling bomb is not speaking a different language.
Thank you so much, man. White people complaining about these people speaking a different language. I am upset that that's happening. Thank you so much. You kicked them out. They cursed us out. He told me.
Oh, imagine that. Another Muslim sticking up for him. That never happens. Not all Muslims, right? Yeah, I've seen that dude before. I don't know anything too much about him, but
neither. But I just know that, and I was on his side. Then I found that shit out, and that really pissed me off. It's just, as a human being, I don't know. I got kind of mad at myself in a way because I supported him. I'm mad at myself because I didn't look up more information before I pressed that retweet. You know. I automatically believed them, you know. I was like, damn, this is so crazy. What are you trying to find?
I thought I put the video here. I guess I didn't put it up here, but there's a video that showed how they propagandize, and like they're literally putting makeup on a kid and then they'd lay him down, make it look like they got killed in a bombing and shit like this. Yeah, and then there's like pictures later and there's all these dudes. It's fucking crazy. I didn't put it in here though, but I have a few really good clips in here. This is one of the clips that I wanted to show you before, but I couldn't find it. It's this Muslim chick, and she's talking to this Jewish. I don't know exactly what his occupation is or whatever, but it's a really interesting exchange here. This is what Islam is right here.
I wanted to say thank you for coming to campus tonight and presenting your point of view. It's always valuable to have two sets of views going on at the same time. Very useful. My name is Jumana Imad Musa Ahmed Bahri, and I'm a student here at UCSD. I was reading your literature. I found that much more interesting than the talk. And I found some interesting things about the MSA, which is an organization that's very active on campus, and it is hosting our annual Hitler Youth Week. Come out to those events.
Yeah, Muslims love Hitler because they hate Jews. They both hate Jews. When Hitler was alive, they worked together. There's famous pictures of all the leading Muslims
shaking hands and shit
at the time, signing contracts, shaking hands, sucking each other's dicks.
If you could clarify the connection between the MSA and jihad terrorist networks, because last I checked, we had to do our own fundraising, and we never get help from anyone. So if you could clarify the connection between UCSD's MSA, or if you don't have such information, if you could connect other MSAs on UC's Because the connection wasn't too clear in the pamphlet. Just if you could clarify.
Will you condemn Hamas here and now?
I'm sorry, what?
Will you condemn Hamas?
Would I condemn Hamas?
Do you want to take a second and look up the definition and read that out loud? What Hamas is? H-A-M-A-S.
H-A-M-E-S.
A-S.
All right, Hamas definition. Of course, it's an Arab. What the fuck? English. If you want to keep playing the video, brother, I'll get it.
Well, I think we should tell them before we move.
Islamic resistance movement.
Okay, that's all it says. It's a terrorist group.
The Arabic word Hamas means courage or zeal, and then it says Islamic resistance movement.
Yeah, they're basically like ISIS, and they want all.
That's a different word.
They want, of course, like all other Muslim, murderers. They want all the Jews dead, right? So he's saying, right here, will you denounce Hamas? Will you denounce that you want me dead? Is what he's saying. Will you admit that you want me dead? Yeah. And she won't. And see what? Check it out. Her response.
Terrorist organization, genocide.
Are you asking me to put myself on a cross?
So you won't. I actually have had this experience many times. You didn't read the pamphlet because the pamphlet is chapter and verse. The main connection is that the MSA is part of the Muslim Brotherhood Network as revealed in the documents.
I don't think you understood what I meant by that. I meant if I say something, I'm sure that I will be arrested for reasons of Homeland Security. So if you could please just answer my question.
So it's a yes.
Yeah.
If I support Hamas.
She supports
Your
Hamas.
question forces me to.
Yeah, she wants her dead.
If I support Hamas, I look really
If you don't
bad.
condemn Hamas, obviously you support it. Case closed.
Truth.
I've had this experience. I had this experience at UC Santa Barbara where there were 50 members of the Muslim Students Association sitting right in the rows there. And throughout my hour talk, I kept asking them, will you condemn Hezbollah and Hamas? And none of them would. And then when the question period came, the president of the Muslim Students Association was the first person to ask questions. And I said, before you start, will you condemn Hezbollah? And he said, well, that question is too complicated for a yes-no answer. So I said, okay, I'll put it to you this way. I'm a Jew. The head of Hezbollah has said that he hopes that we will gather in Israel so he doesn't have to hunt us down globally. For it or against it?
Damn.
They openly declare how much they hate everyone. They openly declare it.
What the fuck?
Why do we let them, really, who's intolerant? Us for reacting against them, saying they want all of us dead?
No hesitation, just for.
No hesitation. They openly say it. Even, just regular people who are supposedly not all Muslims. Well, really? Then find me some that can give a fucking straight answer then and not be a fucking liar. It's okay for them to fucking lie, and it's okay for them to murder, and it's okay for them to rape and steal. They like if you're a Jew in some under Sharia, they can pretty much butcher you if they want to, but if you pay a tax called a jizya, then they'll let you live. But they're basically allowed to just take all your shit. And at even the slightest infraction, they basically would put them to death and take all their shit. And so they just murder and steal from them. So fucked up. They're
these people, dog.
Fuck them all, man. Fuck Islam.
Thank you for coming and showing everybody what's here.
I like the way the professor handled it.
Yeah, me too.
I like the way the questions he asked. He stood calm, and I just like it how he just started off with that. It wasn't even really about it, but still, he just what did he say? Do you believe in Hamas or?
Yeah. Will you denounced Hamas, and then he said, "Well, what about Hezbollah, which I believe is another group that's just another Islamic murdering group." You know, there's tons of Islamic murdering groups going around these days.
You understood.
You didn't hear the lady.
Could you please answer my question?
You don't get to make a speech. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, man. They openly say it all the time.
I'm so glad I got to see a video actually, though. Finally.
Truth.
Wow. Dog, that left me speechless.
Check this one out.
If I was that professor, I don't know how I would have took that. Because she just said it openly that she's willing to kill me.
Yeah, she wants them dead. Yeah, they'll openly say they want to take over, London, or they want to kill us all. I mean, it really bugs me that they can just openly say. I mean, and they are worried about somebody making a comment about them, but they go around talking about how they want to kill everyone who isn't Muslim. Kill, and they're talking about people are racist when they make a comment about them. Fuck anyone like that. Fuck them all, man. They make these Sharia zones.
They are trying to take over a country established
Control.
Muslim forefathers. Why so Britain can be just as progressive and advanced as Pakistan, Afghanistan.
London lets this happen?
What?
London lets this happen?
Well, I do know that one of the guys got arrested. He was in the other video. It's some Adram Chowdhury guy or whatever. I know he got arrested. He's in jail now, but he openly talked about how all that shit, same thing. And so when in the areas that a lot of Muslims live, they just bully everyone who isn't them, and everyone who walks by, they just bully them and shit. Like there are couples walking by and they're just bullying them, and you'll see how they act.
So they come to our country after screwing up their own to what? Screw it up to? I don't think so. How long will people tolerate this crap? Even trying to threaten our artists into not drawing pictures of Muhammad, and I thought Islam was against idolatry.
No alcohol allowed.
What the fuck?
Motherfuckers, you don't own the streets. I'd like to see them try that shit in America. Tell me what the fuck I can do, bitch. You'll get your cap peeled back, bitch. You don't do that shit here. That's why Americans didn't vote for Hillary. We ain't gonna get turned out like this. We ain't little bitches like that. We will fucking cap those motherfuckers. You rip on our fucking girls, we will fucking fight you. We will take it to whatever level you guys take it to. We don't fucking play that bullshit. I understand that in Europe they're beat down. They don't have no guns. They ain't used to fucking standing up for themselves no more. But we don't play that shit. That burns me up. Look, just because you live there, don't mean you own the street and you get to tell everyone who walks by what they can do and what can't they do. Yelling at women, saying they're dressing like whores and they're whores, and dude,
the way we are, it's just so surprising how he put the fucking bottle down. Like,
I know. Like, try that in America. Ain't no way he put down that fucking bottle unless there's like 20 of you and he's fucking a little bitch. But dude, you come across the wrong motherfucker, he will cap every one of you. Islam is bad. How about we have none of that in that area?
Yeah, what if in America we had no Islam zone?
The inanimate, yeah, right? No Muslim zones. They'd say we were so fucking racist, right? But we don't do that.
Right.
We want integration. There, he says alcohol's bad, pornography's bad, inanimate objects are bad, but rape and murder are okay. Rape and murder, oh, that's fine. Just don't have alcohol, okay? Now let me go back to raping. You know, fuck all of those motherfuckers, man. Violence, fine. And that's violence. By force, by threat, he forced him to, he took away his property. Even if it's just a bottle of alcohol.
What are they doing to him?
They're bullying him. They're intimidating him, telling him where to go, what they can do. They're searching people's bags.
What?
Yeah, the last guy, they took away his alcohol and threw it away. This guy, they're taking shit from him. You can't, dude, you try that shit here. That's called robbery. I would fucking shoot them. Nobody is allowed to just come up and fucking dig around in your fucking pockets and go through your fucking bags. We don't fucking play that shit, Jack. Motherfucker will get capped. Religion of peace, and all they do is pick fights.
We don't care if you believe it or not. Then you need to control this area and you need to forbid these people from dressing like this and exposing themselves outside the mosque. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Remove yourself away from the mosque.
Just everyone passing by. Everyone. Everyone passing by gets bullied by these motherfuckers.
Is that a woman with him?
Yeah.
So Muslim patrol, move away from the mosque.
He's already away, bitch.
I know. Okay. They're minding their own fucking business walking down the road. I'd be like, you better back the fuck up, bitch. You take one more fucking step. If he takes a step, I'll blow his ass away, dude. I ain't even fucking playing, dude. You ain't allowed to fucking intimidate people like that. And if there's more than one of them, you're in fear of your life. And at that point, you are justifiably, you know, who wouldn't pick up this camera and be like, look, they've been doing this. These are obviously troublemakers, bullies.
You see, in my head, I'm trying to put myself in their situation, right? And that's frustrating me.
They would do this to you and your girl, dog. And all of us, if they could.
And I'm just thinking, if I were, say if this happened in America, and if I were to cap their ass, I would be so fucking pissed off if it went the other way. Because, you know, in court systems, a lot of things go crazy. You know, sometimes it rarely happens, but there's a lot of crazy things that happen. Like, for example, like a thief can come to your house and sue and then win.
True.
This motherfucker come to my bag, I shoot, and he wins because he's whatever the Muslim type thing that we protect him, you know?
True. But thankfully, we live in America where I think we at least have some semblance of justice sometimes.
Right.
And I think in that instance, I mean, anyone, imagine just showing that video in the court. They were going around asking to be fucking shot. You don't get to go up on people and take their fucking items away.
Follow them.
You don't get to do that. Police do not have the right to do that. Your stupid Islamic dumbass don't have the right to fucking do that. Stupid, man. Don't try that shit here, dude. You get the ass taste slapped out of your fucking mouth. Your tongue will taste halal after that fucking smack to your dome.
That's fucking frustrating, brother.
Dude, it's infuriating. I hate bullies. I fucking hate bullies, dude.
I used to be one a long time ago, but
I was too.
I noticed it in like middle school, midway high school. I started becoming friends with the people that got bullied, man. I don't like that shit. Really, honestly, as a person, bullying somebody that can't fight for themselves, you know?
Right.
So weak. It's so fucking weak. That's no, you made me speechless with all this shit.
They pick on people who can't fight back. All around the world, every country they attack in, usually a country where they're not allowed to have guns, and then the refugees or whatever will have guns. They just it's so fucking cowardly behavior, dude. It's such bully mentality.
It's sad,
individually, they act like victims. When they get in a group, they act like bullies. Right?
Right.
Individually, victim every fucking time. It's like they're never accountable for what they fucking do or say. But yet they hold us accountable for everything we do and say.
You know, I'm surprised we don't do what we did with I think it was with the Vietnamese. Didn't we put them in fucking camps and shit when we're at war with them?
Yeah, in World War II, it's the Japanese. They put them in.
Oh, Japanese. I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, it's really sad, dude. It's
I'm just surprised we didn't go to that length.
That's oppressive, right? That's the ridiculous length. The dude who played Sulu in the old Star Trek, I forget that dude's name. He's a pretty cool guy. But that dude was in one when he was a kid.
Who's Sulu?
The Japanese dude in Star Trek.
I've never seen Star Trek. My dad watched Star Trek. I never got it.
But he's in the old one.
Oh.
He's in tons of shit, man. He's been around for a long time, and he's in lots of shit. He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, they locked all them up. We ain't rounded up Muslims and putting them in camps, even though we're at war with basically Islam. You know what I mean?
That's what makes me surprised. I mean, I'm surprised about a lot of things, honestly. Why keep this as our? Why is this our modem? Why is this our or propaganda? I'm sorry, not to show this type of stuff and not to just leave it out there. That's why I like stuff like this, like our podcast and stuff like that, so we could talk about it and it's just out there. And if anybody ever stumbles on it, then here you go.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so much greater that we have videos now.
All we can do is bring attention to this ridiculousness. By any means necessary.
For real. Honestly, to be 100% honest, I'm speechless with this. Do you have any I
think I lost you there. Looks like we might be having a little bit of technical difficulties. I'll try to get him back on here. Kind of cut off mid-sentence, so I apologize. It's all good. Yeah, we'll get him back on here. I'll talk to him over here. Drop out. I'll re-invite you. Sorry. It just bugs me that in this world that people can hurt innocent, unarmed people and not even feel bad about it. It bugs me to my core. And then to pretend like they're the victims. It's astonishing. Hillary Clinton said everyone who voted for Trump was a deplorable. I didn't vote for Trump, but I know people that did, and they're not deplorable. And I realize exceptions don't break rules. But what about these people advocating for violence, bullying every single passerby, stealing, raping, destroying businesses and property, child molestations, rapes, epidemic levels? Aren't those things wrong? At what point have we drawn in the sand a line in which our reaction matches their aggression? Right now, I feel like they're allowed to basically attack at will, and we just have to sit here and take it. Meanwhile, they destroy families and loved ones. They honor kill. And everything that is permissible under Christianity, it's the opposite in Islam. They're allowed to lie. They're allowed to steal from anyone who isn't in their religion or belief system. It's all laid out in the Quran and the Hadith. If you don't know, I could show you, but I'm not prepared to say it right off the top of my head. And if I have to show you, that means you don't know it off the top of your head. So don't try to pretend like I should know it, because it's not my religion, and I don't want to waste. I want to waste as little time as possible on that barbaric, primitive-ass religion. Our systems of morality and ethics are completely opposite. I realize that a lot of people say Islam is the religion of peace. But peace is sort of a misnomer. A lot of people say it's translated submission. And they mean peace after everyone is governed and ruled over by Sharia law. And in order for that to happen, we all have to die. So what kind of peace is that? What would we have if we just let their culture wash over us? Are all our streets going to be on fire? All of our buildings burnt down? All of us be dead? All of our sons, daughters, and wives are slaves? They say it openly. I hate that me and my countrymen are constantly attacked. I don't know every detail of this mess, but I do know that we're not blowing ourselves up on their streets. And I do know that more Muslims are killed by other Muslims than Muslims are killing, other cultures. And they're doing it in every country, all around the world. China, Russia, France, Germany, just in the last week, France and Germany. It's really unbelievable. I hope that it wasn't too much of a buzzkill tonight, this podcast, but I feel it's important. And these videos raise strong emotions in me, and I want to share that.
I'm back.
All right. Nice.
And Islamic extremists hacked my shit.
Maybe. Shut you down.
Man, took forever to fucking come back.
It's all good.
So what were we talking about again?
Shit, I can't remember because I just kept on talking.
You want me to show you that one video that dude fighting the other video I had for you?
Sure. I think you were about to say, these videos were kind of a buzzkill. Is there anything like more lighthearted or some shit like that?
Yeah. That's where I was going with that. Yep.
Yeah, I got some funny like social justice warrior videos, and I got like a funny, another like just a kind of a dumb shit that's kind of funny that I want to show too.
All right, brother.
In America, wasn't it? All right. I want to show this clip. I like animals and weird shit like that, but
if I seem a little glitchy, my laptop is still going pretty slow.
It's all good. So this is a dude, Stephen Fry. I guess he had a show in Europe or something. I don't know nothing about that. But I just want to show this fucking bird.
What was this?
Check out this dude's mullet.
More about terrible dancing. Moonwalking in a built-up area. Did you know there's an animal that can moonwalk? It's a wonderful bird called a mannequin bird. You want to see a mannequin bird? Yes. Yeah. Moonwalking. I think it will give you pleasure.
That motherfucker can moonwalk, dog.
That shit's funny. You're killing that shit. What the fuck?
70s yellow trousers. Oh, that's fantastic. That's all we've done.
It's like James Brown or some shit. What the fuck?
Animals doing like 80s dances.
That's so cool that they got that on video.
Yeah. It's probably a mating. It's probably a mating thing, and the bird does it for a mating display.
He dances.
Tons of different birds and shit do weird, all sorts of weird shit, man.
Do a little fucking moonwalk. Hey, baby, come to me.
I found that shit fascinating as fuck.
That shit was funny. That's a good way to turn the fucking conversation. Nah, that's funny, dog. He did it so smooth. I wish I could do the moonwalk. I always tried, failed.
I used to be able to do the, I think it's called the worm.
Oh, hell yeah, you told me that. Yep.
I used to be able to pop and lock pretty decently, too.
Pop and lock, I think, is dope.
Yeah, man. That's the real deal.
Or the robot, or like a robot type.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was from this hair clip. So I'm going to try to find it real quick because I obviously don't want to watch the whole thing. Okay, I know what I was going to say. All right. This is talking about social justice warriors and shit like that. So feminism and those type of issues.
The chat of that live stream. I believe we European newbies, and I guess most of the Europeans who joined this so-called community are newbies since it is still dominated by Brits and Americans, have been somewhat of an inconvenience to your little social justice community. At least that is how I explain the lack of confrontation from your side against either me, Ney, Sandra, Griffiths, Lehman, and Swamp Troll. I mean, in the end, I also have some understanding for it. Let me show you something. This here is a Twitter account called XY Einzelfall. All it does is tweet out confirmed cases of migrant crime, then creates a dot and places that dot on a map of Germany. 7 months ago, this is what the map looked like. Well, this is what it looks like today. No, you're not looking at a colored out picture of Germany. This is a representation of migrant crime here over the course of the last year since the migrant and refugee crisis. Do you see that gray waved symbol? That's sexual assault in public baths. Yes, there have been so many sexual assaults in public baths by Muslim migrants here in Germany that they became their own criminal category. That child symbol you, for example, see here is the rape of a child. You will find a lot of those, unfortunately, on this map. Here's a fair and honest assessment of our situation in Germany. We now actually have a rape culture in our country. I know the honey badgers will probably disagree with me on this, and it took me a long time to come to terms with that realization.
Not close to each other.
It's hard for me to reach any other conclusion when looking at the statistics and lists. Even pre-migrant and refugee crisis, crime statistics on rape, sexual assault, and sexual abuse of children show that per population group, Muslim migrants commit more of these crimes. In our current state, facing the consequences of letting up to 2 million Muslims into our country unchecked, whilst building a protective curtain around them to shield them of any accountability, we have seen a massive increase through that of sexual violence perpetrated by Muslims, whilst at the same time in our courts, those Muslim migrants who have committed these crimes got away without consequences. The year 2016 was enraging, saddening, depressing, and a source of much fury for me. The year 2016 here in Germany taught me one thing: if you want to get away with rape, all you need to do is convert to Islam. This is a rape culture, if anything. Even worse is the fact that this is a situation repeating itself throughout the European continent, even if it is with a lesser extreme impact in some. The fact still remains that throughout this continent, the self-segregated hostile Islamic communities that refuse to become part of wider European host societies are responsible for an increase in anti-Semitism, in anti-gay bigotry, and for crime in general. Worst case being France. The French, in my opinion, went through hell on earth for the last 1 to 2 years, with an Islamic community that isn't just self-segregated into small communities that might, under circumstances, mainly keep to themselves as they do in the Netherlands, but which are openly hostile towards wider society and engage in violent attacks against it. These are the things I mostly talk about on my channel, and for the longest time I genuinely believed that you guys from the social justice community simply had a genuine disinterest, because none of you are Europeans, but Americans, Canadians, British, and Australian. I used to believe that most of you knew that something was going terribly wrong in Europe, and that you simply lacked the interest in engaging.
See what I'm saying, right? Rape is okay for them. Rape of children, boys and little girls, it's fine for them. It's permissible. It's permissible under Sharia law. The morals that we are raised and taught, they aren't taught those morals. A lot of people believe in this thing called moral relativism, where they think that all religions are basically equal. Well, they're not. Their religion is, if you wrote out a religion of evil, you would say all the bad things are okay. Rape, murder, rape of children, stealing, right? Well, all those things are in their religion permissible. I mean, that sounds like you couldn't write more of an evil death cult if you wanted to. All religions are not equal. And it's not that they just preach that, but they do that all the time. Every country they go into, it's just like they mob it, dog. They destroy it. That's all they do. That's all they know. I think we're on the cusp of like something big, dog.
I think so too, man. I don't know. I'm just so sure.
Like who are Christians and stuff, that this is like the end times and whatnot, you know? And I don't know if it's the end times, but I do know that everything works in cycles. And the history,
like if we don't do something about it now, it's gonna fucking bite us in the ass later.
Truth. When shit happens, it goes downhill fast. If we lost like different infrastructures, roads and electricity, and food's getting dropped off to stores, millions would starve right away. And fuck, I kind of lost my train of thought. Yeah, this shit drives me crazy, man. It's very upsetting. Yeah, if there's like some big ass war, man, you know, that's what it feels like. And it almost feels like it's orchestrated, doesn't it? It just so happens that around the world, all these governments just decide to let in millions. Think about if you put 1 million soldiers on the ground in Afghanistan and they're flipping the fuck out. We got 1 million people over there, right? 1 million soldiers. Meanwhile, 2 million refugees come in that clearly are violent as fuck. And that's perfectly fine. And even when they do shit, we're not supposed to say they did it.
Right.
Shit don't make much fucking sense to me, man.
Can I show you that one thing?
Yep.
It's
refresh on the list.
The fighting one. No, I think it's the first one.
Oh, cool. Let me put it up here.
How long have we been doing this? Almost reading that 2 hours, boy. Let's hit it.
Nice. Check it.
Yes, I believe we reached Paid Professional Actor headquarters. Deontay Wilder, Paid Professional Actor. Hey, listen, Glenn, talking shit, huh? You remember how you ducked me in 2012 and I beat Derek Virginia? Derek Virginia would not keep the fuck out of you, son of a bitch. Let me ask you something. If you're such a good fighter, why did you that fake match with Lake Scott, you piece of shit? If I hit you with my power, you spit your gum shot out and you spit every single tooth out, motherfucker. You're a fucking bum. Let's meet up right now. Come to LA, I'm the champion. You're a fucking bum. You're a joke. Hey, I sent you my last fight. Kickboxer, 28 seconds, motherfucker. You want to be next? Let's get it on right now. You're a fucking clown. Hey, listen. 6'4", 300 pounds. There. 6'4", 300 pounds. It's on video. Tap Charlie Z versus Derek the Giant. I beat the motherfuckers in this on video. 2 different angles. You want to fight me? Let's get the fight on right now. That's it. No excuses. 2012, you agreed? Run away. Backed out. This is it. Don't back out this time.
I like his ink on his arm.
Let me talk something. When I was locked up in county jail, I taught the Southsiders how to fight. I knocked out the Southside. Teardrop. 2013, I knocked out an Aaron brother. Cold. Motherfucker. 3 left hooks. That motherfucker was laying face down before sit down. Country boy. You want to fight me? I'm on probation.
That's a long ass voicemail.
For real.
Fucking chin. You come here, I knock you the fuck out. No excuses, punk.
Pretty about it, dude. He's running now. What was that? I thought they were kickboxing.
They probably changed it to boxing now. I realized how big he was and like, oh fuck, I don't want to do that.
Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Yeah, he's done. He talked a big game, like, didn't he? But it does look like he's fighting up in weight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh boy, looks like he's got like 30 pounds on him. Hey, at that point, that's assault.
Oh, when he's running away?
Yeah, like if the one dude doesn't want to fight and he's still after him, that's assault. Can't do that. Because like if he agreed to it verbally or written contract to fight, as soon as it's called, that's that, right? He attacks him after that. He didn't agree to that, which means it's assault.
I wonder what he was thinking as soon as he got in that fucking gym and saw him.
I know.
He's like, you look littler in the picture.
Yeah, he might not have known how much you weighed or whatever. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I love these type of videos.
I just love how bad he was talking shit.
He spit a big game, didn't he?
Hell yeah. Talking about all these other people he knocked out.
That motherfucker's built, dude.
Oh yeah, that nigga big.
Yeah. He got a big ass back too. A lot of black dudes don't work on their back that much, but look at that motherfucker's back.
That shit's swole. You can even see the muscle. Like, look at it indent in.
Yeah. That dude is scary, man.
Playing with him. That little kid.
He fucking ran out that door. Oh, I was just kidding. But, you know, he don't know when to stop talking shit. You know, I mean, what the fuck? You gotta know when to hold him, know when to fold him.
For real. So what's up, bro? We good at that?
Yep. Till next time.
You know how it is. Rican and Socrates in the bit.
Peace.
Peace, nigga.